Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing the Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. You might notice it's paused, but you might also notice that I have Dryads. Obviously, there are Vanguard shenanigans going on, and yeah, this match is over quite quickly if I hit play, so I'm not going to do that just yet. No, I want to talk about my army first. So, first off, this was actually a tournament game that I played. It was a tournament hosted by Halo and Heir of Carthage, and it was a hell of a tournament. It was a lot of fun. We had to pick our factions before the tournament, and so we didn't know who we'd be up against. And it was best of ones for the first 4 rounds, I think. So it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. So we didn't know who'd be up against. And it just so happened that my first matchup was against the High Elves, which I happen to very much dislike this matchup. It is a tough one for the Wood Elves. It can be very difficult. You know, they just can't compete in the ranged fight. It just doesn't work. Just Archers and Loath and Seaguard are too cost effective. So it can be a real nightmare. So anyway, I decided to just get on top of them as quickly as possible. That's my plan. So slightly inspired by Falcon, used a very similar build to this once, and so I'm copying it because, well, that's what we do, isn't it? So here you can see I have a front line of Dryads, so they're only a few inches from the enemy. Let's have a look. Ooh. And here they are. See? Nice and close. Not far to travel. So that's really nice. They'll be able to get on top of things very quickly. They'll do great against spearmen. And if they can get on top of archers, they'll kill them very, very fast indeed. Also here, I do have a Glade Lord on a dragon. Obviously a little bit of a tough one, because things like Net of Amontok can pin him down. It'd be very scary if they've gone with a lot of archers, as they often do. So a bit scary, but he's actually not playing as High Elves, he's playing as Avalorn, so no techless. So that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Makes this a lot safer bet. But generally, it can be risky. But you can see he's the it's the male Glady on the dragon, so I have the Helm of Discord, which will really help just kill things very, very fast. And that's what I want to happen. Spellsinger of Life. So here I've actually got a few spells. So usually you just go with the healing, you know, the Earth Blood and the Regrowth, but I've also gone with Flesh to Stone, because a lot of the cavalry that are going to be a good match for mine don't have armor piercing. So being able to add armor to things like my Wild Riders, of which I have many, it'll be very useful. So I have Sisters of Thorn here, so mainly for the free spells, but they're very good on the charge. They can do some good damage. And those missile attacks are nice with the poison. They're very useful utility cavalry there. The rest, I have Wild Riders, and then 3 with shields. Now my opponent here, I'm actually against Mukip, who is a very good player. I thought I'd be out in the first round, if I'm honest. I was thinking, yep, there's no way. No way in hell. So here you can see our Shadow Warriors. Don't often see Shadow Warriors, but they're a very good pick here. You know, be able to run away while shooting, it's pretty damn good. And it means they can get some nice maneuvers going. Very good missile damage. They are very capable units, for sure, and they're not bad in melee either if they do get bogged down, which is something that, you know, regular archers don't really have going for them. So if I do catch them out with things like, say, Eternal Guard, I had Eternal Guard maybe, you know, they'd be able to fight them off pretty well. They're very capable in melee. But yeah, love them. Also, ton of spearmen, as you'd expect. These guys match up great against Eternal Guard. They've got very high melee defense, which keeps the archers online for a lot longer. And if anything needs punching, he's got Silver Helms and 2 Dragon Princes. He's also got Hilarial the Radiant. Of course he does. You know, why wouldn't he? But he does actually have Tempest. So, alright, I didn't have to worry about the Net of Amontok, but I do have to worry about Tempest, and that'll do damage too. So that is scary. So that's very annoying. Very annoying indeed. So, speeding things way up now. See, immediately I'm just going to charge in with my Dryads, which is always nice. I've got slightly more weight on this side, obviously. I wanted to make sure the Dryads were more on this side, so if I did need any support, you know, get sort of stuff in the way of spearmen, I could do that, and it would give more respite for my Wild Riders. The Wild Riders are starting to charge in, my Dragon is charging in, everything's charging in, basically. So here, a lot of damage initially. My Dryads are getting shot to pieces, which doesn't look great for them, if I'm honest. Doesn't look ideal. But here, getting a nice charge on the Dragon Princes, that'll do some good damage, with the Star of Avalon is going to keep them healthy. But look at that damage on the charge. Absolutely wonderful. And I think a Tempest is about to be used, but I've already landed with the Glade Lord. So here, I'm actually moving the Wild Riders up and out. These guys are going to stay in combat. I'm using Earth Blood on them, try and keep them in the fight a little longer, but I don't mind if they lose at this point. No. I'm happy that these Dragon Princes are all busy, and now it means I can charge my Wild Riders into all of these juicy units. They will suffer some damage, for sure, but they do have the shields, which is nice, and I can just charge through all of these guys for a very long time. Dragon Princes being a pain, they have defeated my Wild Riders, which is very sad for me, but I've got some more Wild Riders that I'm pulling out here, and I've got Shield of Thorns on these guys, should keep them going, and those Dragon Princes are getting bogged down. Over here, Sister Thorn actually charged into the front line to deal with these Silver Helms, and with the extra damage from the Dryads, we're actually doing pretty well over here. So big fan of that. Over here, my Wild Riders are having a whale of a time, just running through all these units. Spearmen are trying to push in to get on top of them, but I'm just going to keep moving. Just keep moving, keep trying to deal with these guys. My Dragon has been taking a lot of damage. A lot of people are trying to shoot at him because he's obviously a very threatening target. You've got to get rid of him quickly. But now it seems like the archers are the not the archers, the Wild Riders are the priority. But I've got them up and around and into more Shadow Warriors, which is very handy. And now my Sister Thorn can start running off over here because, yeah, the Spearmen aren't guarding everything. So there are definitely pockets in, and I've also got my Dryads following up. These Dryads are going to run down into the fight as well. These Dragon Princes are still going, and that is a pain, but there's so many Dryads in here. And, I mean, these Dragon Princes are so spread out all over everything. They're just completely bogged down by Dryads and Wild Riders. They are doing some good damage to those, but they are so bogged down by so many units that I'm not too worried about them. A nice Earth Blood, trying to keep my units up. And my Dragon is still startling the heck out of everything. I've still got Sister Thorn in here, and, yeah, things are going alright. Things are going alright. There's just so many archers and things bogged down in here, so I'm doing a lot of damage. But I'm going straight for Alariel here with the Dragon. And as you can see, she is not good at dueling a dragon. It's not really her bag, so I'm doing a ton of work here. An absolute ton of work, which is absolutely wonderful for me. And I have used a regrowth on my Glade Lord to keep him nice and healthy. So Alariel is getting completely decimated, and the Sister Thorn keep going from one archer unit to the next. Way over here, these Dragon Princes couldn't stay in the fight any longer, so more Dragon Princes and Silverhelms tried to join over here into the fight, but they're bogged down by Dryads, which can do some good damage to them, and they're a bit of a nightmare to get through when there's so many. So they're getting pretty heavily whittled down. Sister Thorn, though, look like they're going to get recharged, but I'm happy for my Dragon just to keep hitting stuff. I've got some Wild Riders that are getting back into the fight, plenty of Dryads that can push off all this infantry, and my Dragon, with his terror, is doing a wonderful job just harassing all of these units. So charging in with the Cav now, going to shut down these Shadow Warriors very quickly. Sadly, though, Sister Thorn are struggling a bit. I did use a Shield of Thorns, try and get some physical resist, and I have managed to get rid of some of the Shadow Warriors, but the Dragon Princes and the Spearmen have managed to chase me off there, which is a real pity. But so many of the archers are doomed here. So many of them are dead. Balance of power shifting in my favour, and I've still got my Spell Singer over here bothering these Shadow Warriors. Dragon Princes are coming back into the fight, which is a bit of a problem, but I'm just going to keep pushing my advantage. I know that I have the numbers on my side now. I just want to break through all this DPS stuff. All the archers need to go down. So here, Glade Lord use a Helm of Discord to totally debuff these units, let my Wild Riders chew through all of the Spearmen, and yeah, that's it. Pyrrhic victory. So I was very surprised by this. I was very surprised. I knew it's one of those matchups, as the Wood Elves, you can either just charge in guns blazing, you know, get on top of the units as quickly as possible, or you're just going to get picked apart by, you know, fast-moving cav and archers that can obviously reach a great distance. So High Elves are very good at picking their targets here, and you don't want to give them the time to do that, which is why you have to charge in like an absolute lunatic. You can see the Wild Riders that charged straight into those Dragon Princes. They got very hurt. They got very hurt. They did not fare particularly well. But they did a lot of damage in kind, you know, that's the thing. They didn't get a lot of kills, but they got a lot of damage. And against things that have a lot of physical resistance, a lot of armor, the damage gets spread out across the units a lot. It's not like a charge, you know, runs in and then a couple of models die. No, they take a lot of damage, and they withstand a lot of damage. So you don't tend to get a lot of kills, unless you can actually, you know, win the fight, essentially. So it's very tough for those two Wild Riders, but they kept those two Dragon Princes busy, and everything else just got wiped out. You know, the other Wild Riders were able to do their job, the Sister Thorn did their job, and my Glade Lord certainly did his. So, pretty fantastic. This went a lot better than I expected. So, really well played to Mewkip here. I always said Mudkip, that's a Pokemon, isn't it? Anyway, Mewkip, really well played. It's one of those matchups. It can be a bit of a coin toss if the Wood Elf player is aggressive. Otherwise, I think it's just going to favour the High Elves every time. So I did what I had to, and today it paid off. So I'm very happy about that. Very happy indeed. So yeah, be sure to go check out Heir of Carthage's channel and Halo on Twitch, because they put on this tournament, and yeah, they put on a hell of a show. So it's definitely worth swinging by and saying hi from me. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.